I've really been on and off with God in terms of like I like I said, like it's something I always grew up on. So like I knew that like God was real, but I didn't know him for myself. And there would be times, actually, like many periods in life where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get serious with God.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to just go all in and like really take my Christianity serious. But I was not, it just wasn't the time yet. God hadn't like ordained for those times to be the time. Because every time I tried, it never was fruitful. I never really was able to like sink my roots into God. So I always just ended up going back to the world and just doing what I wanted, but still like slapping the Christian label on myself. So, so I wasn't, it almost became like a case of like, I thought the success maybe was God. So I was like, okay, God's doing something, you know, or like God's doing something for me right now. This got to be God.
Right.
Well, who else would it be? That's what I'm thinking. But not all success is from God. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I saw all the increase that I was getting, all the people that were hitting me up, and I figured I'm just blessed. I'm just chosen by God, you know? So it was something to be celebrated, and I was thanking God. And I actually started to get a little bit more into God in terms of like reading the word. So like I would take my dog out on walks and I would be like reading Psalms 23, like over myself, like as I walk my dog, like, you know, like I walk through the valley. I was reciting it off memory when I was walking my dog. And cause we have like these, we have like this creek behind our house and like a lot of grass. So it's like, he leads me to beside still waters. Like every time I walk there, like God would put Psalm 23 on my heart. So I would just kind of like say it out loud while walking my dog. And I think he was actually like slowly planting like seeds in my heart, like real seeds, for him to be able to like later encounter me in like a stronger way. Like when leading up to doing what I ended up doing. Yeah.
I walk through the shadow of the valley. Is that?
Yeah. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me down paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Yeah.
And so you're reciting Psalm 23, and I peeped, Walk Through the Shadow of the Valley of Death. That's in one of your records that is now like massive too.
Yeah.
So it sounds like God was planting the seed in your heart. You know, you're doing well in your career finally for the first time. So when was the transition? Like you could have easily gone and just made records with Tyga, like Club Bangers or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when were you like, nah, I'm taking So Sad down. Like I'm pivoting completely and I'm going straight into this lane.
Yeah. Yeah. So I dropped two records. I dropped two records, pivoting away from the sad stuff, and immediately they were going insane. Like triple platinum in the bedroom and in the club. It was like one of those songs.
Yeah.
So I was feeling really good. Took a trip to LA, was meeting up with people. But God was really convicting me in terms of like opening up my eyes to the darker aspects of the things that were going on around me. So, and just being more privy to the spiritual nature of life. Because I think up until that point, for the most part, I was very carnal minded. Like I said, love smoking, love drinking, and just doing whatever. But, going into the zodiac signs thing, because we were talking about that. Man, I saw this, like this astrology, like years prediction.
Yeah.
This lady, she was like, this is the Virgo 2023 prediction or something, like what's going to happen on 2023 for all Virgos. And like, so she's talking about like, all my dreams are going to come true this year. Like you're going to be really successful. You're going to be meeting some really important people. You're going to be signing big contracts and making a lot of money. So every time I'm getting hit up or followed by somebody, like her words are ringing through my head. So I'm like, okay, there's something to this astrology stuff, right? So now I'm getting sensitized to the spiritual nature of things in that way. Because like I said, it was never like a really like tangible spiritual experience with God growing up all my life. Maybe here and there you cry a little bit or get emotional in church, but in terms of like predicting the future on a personal level, that was like, okay, the spirit realm is real.
Yeah.
That made me realize it. Because every time a new opportunity is happening, her words are like just ringing in my head. Like, this is the Virgo 2025 or 2023 prediction, like coming into fruition. So now I'm getting convicted because I know astrology is not of God.
Right.
So I started getting like kind of tug of war, like in between it, like pulled in the direction of like, maybe I should do more readings. Maybe I should like see a tarot reader to like get more details on how I should handle this, versus like I need to pray and like not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like a conflict going on with me spiritually in that sense. And God just kind of started to work on me. He was tugging on my heart and he was opening my eyes and giving me like understanding in terms of like, he just kind of flat out like told me like, you can't straddle the fence. Like, you're either going to be like all for me or you're going to be like all for the world and for the kingdom of darkness, because none of your songs glorify me. And not all success is from me. So
yeah. Did you hear him say that audibly, or was it?
It was an inner voice. It was an inner voice that I just knew. Like, have you had that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like when you know, like it's just the voice, the authoritative, the voice of God.
Yeah.
So, and I'm always trying to like convince myself that it's just my thoughts and I'm an overthinker, but there's some things you just can't deny, bro.
No.
And because I would hear things like that in my head, and then I'd see like different manifestations of like it becoming very obvious, and I can't like deny that like God is showing me like this is dark, this is evil. Like, I'll give one example. I hate to name drop too, but it is what it is. It's just my story, you know. But so the song that I dropped, I was going like triple platinum in all the bedrooms. That was I used, so there's this old song of Uzi saying like my name. Yeah. From like 2018. He was like, Mac, no Dell. So. I was like, that's my tag. I'm gonna use that. So I used like him saying that as my like artist tag for the song. Yeah. And I was like, this is hard. Like right before it drops, Mac, no Dell.
It's like copyright infringement, but it's okay.
Whatever. We'll skip that. But, and so the same week that song drops, and I heard this voice from God, the same week that song drops, there's like this headline, this wild headline about Uzi. It was like, Uzi tattoos the cross upside down on his tongue, or something like that. I was like, dude, like immediately when I read that headline, bro, like my heart like sunk. Like, you know that feeling when you're like about to go up like a roller coaster? Yeah. I was like, terrible. I was like, I just used his voice is saying my name at the beginning of this song, and this man just got the cross tattooed upside down on his tongue. That's like insane symbolism that I just can't ignore at this point. Right. Like I can't unsee it. I can't say it's just a coincidence, because it's not. I heard the voice. So it was things like that would really start to work on my, like, kind of tug on my heart and make me not comfortable in the success that I was gaining.